People love to believe cheating is simple. But behind every affair, there's a story, and sometimes that story is colder, smarter, and more calculated than anyone wants to admit. In this video, we're breaking down why women cheat. Not the Hollywood version, but the real psychological and even Machiavellian reasons behind it. By the end, you'll understand something most people never will. Let's kill the fairy tale right now. Women cheat, and not just because they're not getting enough love at home. While the world wants to paint female infidelity with pastel emotional reasons, the truth is often more brutal. A massive study published in the Journal of Sex Research showed women cheat for various reasons, and many have nothing to do with love or emotional neglect. In fact, some women cheat with no intention of leaving their partners at all. Enter evolutionary psychology. According to Dr. David Buss, women are wired not just to find a mate, but to secure the best one. That means if their current partner isn't pulling his weight, cheating becomes a strategic upgrade. It's called mate switching, and it's like shopping for a new phone before your current one even breaks. And get this isn't always conscious, it's instinctual. Evolution doesn't care about moral codes, it cares about survival and genes. If a better provider, protector, or emotionally available man comes along, the brain lights up with possibility. This turns cheating into less of a betrayal and more of a power move. Think of it like chess. She's not moving just for fun. She's moving with purpose. And when women make that kind of move, it's often because they've been quietly analyzing the game for a long time. Studies even suggest that women who cheat are more likely to have done so after planning it out over weeks, even months. This isn't about slipping up at a party, it's a calculated play. The myth that women only cheat when they're in love is just that, a myth. Sometimes they cheat because they see an advantage, and they take it. Cold, maybe, but also very human. Part 2. Machiavellian moves in modern relationships. Let's talk about Machiavelli for a second. He's the guy who basically said, people will do what they have to do to survive, and sometimes that means being cold, calculated, and even manipulative. Sound harsh? Sure. But sometimes it's true. Now, most women aren't walking around quoting the prince, but they don't need to be reading philosophy to act in their own self-interest. When a woman cheats, it isn't always some emotional spiral. It can be an intentional, long-considered choice. Sometimes it's the most logical option left. Here's how that plays out in real life. Imagine a woman stuck in a relationship where she feels like a ghost. Her partner doesn't see her, hear her, or appreciate her. She's not screaming, she's not fighting, she's just planning. Psychologists call this mate replacement theory. She's finding a new branch before she lets go of the old one. It's not chaotic, it's precise. Think of it like project management, but with emotional lives. She's assembling a backup plan in silence. And let's be real, there's a certain kind of control in that. While her partner might think everything's fine, she's already emotionally outsourcing, slowly detaching, lining up her next move. Also, women know society tends to give them a bit more slack when it comes to cheating. They're more likely to get sympathy. He must have neglected her. She must have been lonely. This adds another layer of psychological cover, permission even. So, while her actions might look spontaneous, they're often backed by quiet calculation. And that's where the Machiavellian parallel really fits. Some women don't cheat because they're careless. They cheat because they're careful, calculated, focused. She's not trying to break hearts. She's trying to break free. Part 3. Emotional infidelity or power shift? Now let's meet Lisa. Not a real person, but a very real story. Lisa's been married for 7 years, 2 kids. Her husband, Mike, isn't abusive. He's just absent. He doesn't ask about her day, doesn't compliment her anymore. No, I miss you. No, how are you really doing? Just bills, chores, silence. Enter Josh, the co-worker. Josh actually listens. He notices when she changes her hair. He texts her just because. At first, it's innocent. Then it's addictive. And eventually, it turns physical. Now, people will say, Lisa cheated because she was emotionally unfulfilled. But that's just the surface. Dig deeper, and you'll see this isn't just about affection. It's about power. For years, Lisa felt invisible. Now she's back in control. She makes the choice. She feels desired, important, alive. This is why cheating can feel justified to some women. It's not about hurting their partner. It's about healing themselves through someone else. That shift of power, that moment of validation, feels like oxygen after years of suffocation. According to a study by Ashley Madison, emotional neglect was the #1 reason women gave for cheating. Not sex, not excitement, not money, emotional invisibility. And here's a twist. Lisa doesn't even want to leave her husband. She just wants to feel like she still matters, that someone notices her, that someone thinks she's worth showing up for. Even that emotional connection becomes a tool, a way to shift power back into their own hands. And when that happens, it's no longer just an affair. It's a personal revolution. Cheating in this sense becomes the turning point where a woman says, I'm not powerless anymore. And that shift, while messy and controversial, is often the core reason behind what looks like betrayal. Part 4. When cheating becomes rebirth. Let's flip the script. What if cheating isn't just escape, but rebirth? According to Dr. Tammy Nelson, women often use affairs as a form of transformation, not out of spite, not even out of boredom, but out of a deep need to evolve. She calls it the Phoenix effect. A woman burns down the life she knows, not because she wants to cause chaos, but because she wants to feel alive again. In a major study published in Archives of Sexual Behavior, over 50% of women who cheated said they felt empowered afterward. That word keeps coming up. Empowered. Not guilty, not ashamed. Empowered. Why? Because for some, cheating is the only way they feel they can make a change. They're stuck in toxic routines, dead relationships, or identity crises. The affair becomes their way of saying, this version of me is done. I'm starting over. And in some cases, the cheating doesn't even lead to divorce. Some women use it to shake up the relationship, to force a conversation, to break the emotional silence. It's like hitting a reset button in the most dramatic way possible. The act of stepping out is less about the third person and more about waking up, feeling something, anything. One woman in therapy once described it like this: I didn't cheat because I hated my husband. I cheated because I couldn't find myself in that house anymore. That's not cruelty. That's crisis. Cheating, in these cases, becomes the most extreme form of self-care. Not the healthy kind, but the desperate kind. Like smashing a window to escape a burning house. If you think that's dramatic, then maybe you've never felt truly stuck. This isn't about excuses. It's about seeing how, for some women, cheating isn't just a mistake. It's a lifeline. Part 5. Cheating in the age of options. In the past, if you were unhappy in your marriage, you stayed. Divorce was taboo, options were few, and emotional survival came second to appearances. Today, different game. Dating apps, DMs, Instagram, all tools in a new kind of relationship landscape. Social media isn't just entertainment, it's access. It's opportunity. And with that comes temptation. Here's the kicker. Modern women aren't just staying out of duty, they're choosing to stay or leave based on value. If they cheat, it's often because they know there are better options just a swipe away. We now live in the age of leverage, and women are waking up to that. Fast. A woman who once felt trapped in a lifeless marriage can now open Tinder and find 10 men telling her she's beautiful before lunch. It's not always about acting on those options, but knowing they exist changes the entire dynamic. She's no longer stuck. She's evaluating, measuring, comparing. Some use this awareness as insurance, others as motivation to improve their relationship, and some as a way to finally feel in control of their lives again. This doesn't mean women are evil masterminds. It means they're human, and humans are wired to want better when better is available. Machiavelli once said, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see a thing, but few come to understand it." Most people see a woman cheating and assume weakness or impulsiveness. Few understand the emotional pressure that led her there. In a world full of emotional noise, silence can be the loudest red flag. And for many women, cheating is the scream they couldn't say out loud. Not out of cruelty, out of exhaustion. Part 6. The truth behind the betrayal. What have we learned? Women don't cheat just because they're bored, horny, or mad. They cheat because they're strategic, because they're seeking power, because they're trying to rewrite a story where they felt erased. Does this make cheating okay? Number. But it does make it human. It's messy, it's emotional, and sometimes it's Machiavellian. For some, it's survival. For others, it's evolution. And for many, it's a way to finally reclaim a voice that's been silenced for years. And it's not always personal. Some women cheat not because their partner failed, but because they lost themselves. Somewhere between laundry and late-night arguments, they stopped recognizing the person in the mirror. The affair isn't about love or even sex. It's about rediscovering identity. This doesn't mean all women are walking around with hidden agendas. It means that underneath the pain of betrayal is often a deeper pain of being unseen, unheard, and unvalued. Cheating, then, becomes a mirror, not just for the one who cheated, but for the relationship itself. It forces both people to ask, what were we really building? Were we teammates, or just coexisting? If you're in a relationship, this is your wake-up call. Don't wait until the damage is done to start paying attention. Real connection takes effort, real presence, real honesty. And if you've been cheated on, this is not your fault. But maybe it's a chance to ask the deeper questions, not just about her, but about what the relationship was really made of. Because the truth? People cheat for many reasons, but the ones we ignore, those are the ones that destroy us the most.